And let's see here. Jim Bell here, Amy here, Michael. I don't see him yet. Paul Foley here, Mike Mora, I don't see yet. Penny Ration here, Paul Tully, I don't see him yet, but I did talk to him. I'm here, Walbert. Let's see, Kevin here, right? Joe here. I don't think we're going to get the police guys today, right there in training. Maria, good morning here. Stuart, I haven't seen Stuart or heard from him. So
Stuart's in the training as well.
Okay. So a lot of training going on. So we will call the meeting to order. Were there any public comments, Joe?
There was none.
Okay. Let's see. Is anyone else come on that I haven't acknowledged? Okay. Next, we have approval of the minutes, right? June 6th and June 23rd. Have people gotten them? They have a chance to read them? Do I have a motion to approve the June 6th meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second? Jim, will you second the?
Yes.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now the June 23rd minutes. You guys had a chance to see those? Motion to approve? Jim?
I
Motion.
move to approve.
All right.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? All right.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the owner's discussion of a owner's project manager. And I just wanted to get a consensus of the building committee that we do want an owner's project manager, and then throw it out for discussion about ways to go about hiring one in the process, and the potential candidates for that role. So the people that have done this before, I would certainly love to hear your comments, Jim and Penny and Joe. You guys have had the most recent experience in bringing on as the call for Saks, an owner's rep, as Joe's called it, an owner's project manager. Same role, I presume. And what your thoughts are on that process going forward.
So I would very much support that we do it. We've had one on all the projects I've worked on that have been of a similar size, on the high school project, the Saks project. And I think what an owner's rep does for you is, keeps the process moving well forward. I think that in this particular day and age with supply issues and the kinks that people have had, we're going to want to be able to pre-order some items early once we know where we are. In the event of a dispute, and you typically have some sort of dispute at some point amongst your project team, the owner's rep can be extremely helpful in resolving that in a fair way to all parties. And I just think they're really value added. They'll run the numbers, they'll keep us going and think of things that we won't think of. Joe knows how to do that job. He's been that person, but Joe already has a full-time job at New Canaan Town Hall, so he can't do this one too. So I think it would end up saving us money on this project, and reduce change orders, which you always want to reduce. So I would promote going forward with that now.
I would second Penny's comments. What frequently happens is you need somebody that can coordinate between, if there's any issue between architects, who should pay for it, between architects and builders and other contractors. So it just facilitates the process, and if it's done properly, it doesn't need to be super expensive. It's not really a major ticket item in my view.
Hey,
So
Jim, what does it generally run? And I know they were instrumental in Saks. I mean, the reality is all of us are volunteers, so you kind of need a pro to be running the project day to day. Is kind of how I look at it. But what is? I don't recall how they price out.
I don't remember percentage, but
I
I'm guessing,
looked, you know,
Go
given this is recorded in public, I'm not sure we want to get into the fees right now. I know I looked it up, what we paid, for.
Is it like a percentage of the?
Saks.
Is it like a percentage of the?
Yeah,
bill
it's not
cost, or
usually
how
a
they do it?
percentage. Sometimes you do a monthly fee.
Okay.
You know, I've done it both ways. Joe, you could talk as to the structure, but in terms of the overall, the full cost of this project, it's not going to be, it's not like hiring an architect where you get into 7 figures or anything like that. You know, you're into 6 figures.
Okay,
Joe, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I would just echo, I think we just do a monthly fee for a certain amount of staff. We let them propose what they're gonna propose a staff that they think is adequate for the project. And we'll go through a request for qualification process and give them basically them to give us a statement of their approach and method and their staffing requirements for that. And then I wouldn't say that we would, I would say at that point we would negotiate a fee. So we would do it based on the qualifications, and then we would negotiate the fee with the lowest, the most qualified presenter.
Mhm.
And then if we can't come to a negotiation with the fee, we go to the second most qualified person. So I think we structure it in that manner.
you know, this is a professional service, so it's our choice to choose the person that we think is best qualified. That's the main criteria. Bill, if you take the sense of the committee, we should do it, then I would like to move on and have, with maybe Joe leading the way, that we find the 2 or 3 people and make a recommendation next meeting so we can get on with this.
I would agree with that, Jim. I think it is the sense of the committee that we would like to hire an owner's project manager, and then we really just need to submit names. Is that? And I think we've had enough experience with projects in this community, and that I think we have a reasonable idea of the people that do this well, and go from there. Really, yeah.
So, yeah, I propose that we try and come up with somebody that we can approve at the next meeting. Joe, do you agree with that?
Well, I think you need to go for at least request for qualifications. I don't know that we need to do it for the next meeting. That depends on what happens with the Board of Finance meeting that's next week, and the town council.
Well,
Because
let's assume we go ahead.
Yeah.
I think we should get the process started. I mean, you know, the town has
Yeah.
always supported having an owner's rep in these types of big projects. So we want to identify the person and be ready to go to contract with them. I think we could, the way we've done this before is if the committee wants to have a owner's rep, then a smaller subgroup of us have always worked. You know, we can put out a private request for qualifications to a few people. I would suggest that the committee look at Jean Terone, who we used on the last project, who I thought did an excellent job.
I agree.
And, you know, if we can, you know, find a couple others of people to interview, we could then interview them, ask for sealed, you know, bids, you know, from them as well, and then come back with once we have a contract, you know, that we'd like to approve, I think we should come back to this committee. But as long as the committee's in favor of going forward with the owner's rep, I think we'll be all set to go. And you know, we want to fast line this project so that we get the spade in the ground as soon as possible. And I think we should, take time to move it forward now and not wait.
yeah, and if there's
Agreed.
people we like, we want to get on their calendar, right? So, you know, we don't know what their other obligations are.
Right.
Sure.
I've heard there's a lot of
Right.
construction going on out there right now. So yeah, I think who we may want may not have the bandwidth right now. It is a busy marketplace right now. No doubt about that.
Joe, do you have like a request for qualification form or whatever that we could quickly revise to put out?
so I don't have a standard one, but I can create one.
Okay, so
And
do we
then-
need a formal vote on this, Bill Walbert? Do we need a formal vote that the committee recommends that we move forward for a owner's rep?
Yeah, I don't think we do. We did not
All right,
say we
so-
were going to have a vote in the in the agenda, I don't think, but I don't think we're gonna need a formal vote to say this is a sensitive building committee that we're gonna have an owner's project manager. I think we've been discussing that. I don't think there's anything unusual in
Nope,
proceeding with
I
that.
agree.
I think I just wanted a sensitive committee that, yes, in fact, we want to do it, get the ball rolling, and really start the process of bringing in the qualified names, and really just a process of the repository. He's going to take the names. Joe is going to put together a document for qualifications, and then we approach our targeted service providers. Is that fair?
Yeah, hopefully,
That's very fair.
yes, I agree with everything that was just said. And then we can do it either when, assuming we get the budget coverage, we can do it either whenever we're ready, next meeting, the meeting after, but soon.
Right.
All
We,
agreed.
you know,
I think
depends
we all
on
agree.
interviews and schedules and all that, but we might as well get the people to put in their qualifications that we want to hear from.
Yes.
It's a good point about it. The person we might want might not be available, so we need to get on with this.
Agreed.
All
I
right,
think
so
we
Joe's going to
100%
deliver
consensus.
a document that we can use. The names might as well come in through me, and then we'll proceed to put them, put it out there to the people we've targeted, the firms we've targeted. Once we have total commitment on the dollars, obviously.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right. Anything more on the owner's project manager? All right, let's move on to general biz. Speaking of dollars, the presentations of Board of Finance and Town Council obviously were very, very well in the summer. August, becomes sort of a black hole for town business. I think we all are aware of that, as everyone is a volunteer. And so as we get back into the swing of things here, we are anticipating formal votes on the money to get us started, and how the town decides to go through the details of bonding and funding and things like that are really up to the Board of Finance, and some of the decisions that they will make either this month or next month. But there is a Board of Finance meeting on Tuesday the 13th. And I have not spoken with Todd, but I think there's a good chance we'll be on that calendar. Amy, is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, certainly people want an update of where we are on this. So do we at the committee level need anything on a monetary basis? Now, I think when we're going to try to get, I mean, there's a sense that people are positive for this, but we're far away from really knowing the cost. I mean,
If we want to get this project moving, what we need to do is get the Board of Finance to approve all the pre-construction costs, and I think it was total about 1.5, and we only need them to approve 1.2 is my recollection. Is that right, Joe?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So
We don't want to change the number after 1 month. So whatever we told them
right.
in July will be the
Okay,
same number we go back to them with in September.
Yeah,
We
just
want approval for all the pre-construction costs, which are estimated about 1.2. We need 1.2 more from them.
1.5 total, 1.2 more, right? Is that right?
Correct.
1.2 or 1.25? I just want to make sure.
Joe can give you the number, but it's
It was 1.5 total. We have $300,000
Okay.
left
so
over.
1.2.
Okay, I'll circle back with Todd on that one, okay?
All right.
All right, and then do we need to get the same thing approved by the town council?
Yeah, so it has to come to us first, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
Yeah, but I think
yeah.
this is not going to require bonding or anything. This is just going to be an out of pocket cost. So
right,
The
and then we
bonding
figure out
will
how
come
to do it later. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the bonding.
One thing-
Go ahead, Joe.
One thing that I'd like to note is we're proceeding with the funds, the 300,000 that we have. We're proceeding with Brian. I got approval for his contract for the first phase. So we're expending money designing the 26 to $28.5 million project. And so that means we're going forward with that being the target of basically a $28.5 million project.
Mhm.
And some of that money would obviously be wasted if they decide to go to a lesser project.
Right, so that's
we don't-
why we really want to get the remaining 1.2 million, because if the
Okay.
town bodies are not going to support this and not, we've presented the concept, then we need to know that sooner rather than later.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
guys, just so, just to make sure if people ask, I don't know who has the right person on this, Joe or Jim. Do we have kind of a summary breakdown of what that 1.5 all in covers? I think people would say, okay,
Absolutely.
what is that covering? So
Yes.
that would just be good to have.
We have it.
Okay.
Okay, so can you provide that to me? Because I know I personally would say, what are we getting for this?
And that should definitely be part of the Board of Finance package and the Town Council package, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So rather
Yeah.
than just, because I always sit on the Board of Finance and I
Yeah.
go, wait, the deal is you're supposed to give me the details. So let's make sure, we're ahead of the game and give them the details. So if
And
I-
logistically, who can be there on the 13th? I can do the Board of Finance, but I will be unavailable on Wednesday, the 21st. So I just.
I mean, I can do the Board of Finance. I mean, this is logistics. I mean,
Okay.
everybody is conceptually, we're going to try to get this PD done. If, as long as, I'll just represent where we are
Mhm.
and we need this additional money to move forward. Okay.
Okay. I mean,
And
I
as
will
long as
plan
we
to be
detail
there, but probably plan not to present unless Todd thinks otherwise. But I will just be there just in case there's any questions. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
Yeah, and I think, of the many times you might have to show up, this is one you could probably do a fly around if you,
Mhm.
felt like it. Let me know.
Sounds good.
But
Okay,
could someone cover the 21st? The Town Council? Just in case?
I can't do it.
Maybe I could, I don't know if I needed
Yeah,
to.
we'll see.
I'll see.
All right, we have 2 weeks to figure that out. I'll just make sure we get someone for the Town Council if they want us there. Anything else on general biz? Oh, one more thing, I guess, Brian has met with the police department at the end of August as they go through their first design steps. I promise, because the police can't be here today, we're not going to really talk about design and that work going forward because obviously it's just, they're not here. So they're in training right now, couldn't make this meeting, but that process has started and all is good.
Bill, just so you know, they met and went through the overall program and there were some comments made, nothing that you wouldn't expect. And they have 3 more meetings scheduled for just to identify the program and get the design going.
Right. And everyone's very aware to keep the EMTs very much in the know as far as the design process goes, especially in regard to the traffic flow, things like that. They've, they're as an interested neighbor, they're an intimate part of the process. And so we would have, they reached out to us, and I know the police department wants to make them happy as well. So.
Yeah, Brian's
Hey,
comment was that they had good progress, as Paul pointed out, good progress on the, and Joe pointed out, good progress with working with various PD departments to get resolution on minor issues on the schematic design.
Mm-hmm. Paul, will you try to chime in, Paul Foley?
Just chiming in, where do we stand on the site selection for the training center? How are we progressing on that? Because it's
So
been a
not
few months.
getting into any specifics, we've looked at 2 sites. We performed a wetlands analysis. And we had the wetlands flagged on the sites. One site is coming to the top. And like I said, I won't get into details, but it's
No, this-
a full range.
I just
moving forward.
want, I just want to be sure we're moving forward. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that.
Paul and Joe, as we move forward on this, are we moving forward now as a freestanding New Canaan project? Or are we still in discussions with something that's a broader joint effort by multiple towns? Where do we stand on that?
Kevin, have we
For
talked
me-
with Wilton recently? don't know.
It just,
So
I mean,
Well,
so I still think it's
In my-
it's gonna be a joint,
yeah,
a joint funding,
terrific, okay.
is what's anticipated. I think we need to get a little bit of the due diligence done before we could even kind of have a marketing package for
Mhm.
Leon to present to other police departments to get them
Right.
interested.
Yeah, I get that. It just, to me, it makes so much sense from a resource allocation. That's something that would be used just a small amount of time by our force could be used better with multiple organizations, using this resource versus duplications
Mhm.
across the state. So that's great.
Agreed.
yeah,
Any
I
other
think we're all
general
on the
biz?
same page.
Any other general biz? Next steps, I think we talked about covering the Board of, the town meetings. We talked about getting the process going with our owner's project manager. And we talked about the architect meeting with the police department. Anything else on the next steps, right? We want to,
I have a question, just schematically timing on all this, because if people ask, okay, so obviously, what do we think, if all goes well, how would this timing work? Would we have, the design locked down by X amount of time, then it gives us we obviously bring on the owner's rep, design, formalize architectural design, and then, the time frame of going out to bidding. So if someone said, if all goes well, what's the timing on this process? I just think that would be, it's a legitimate question that people would say. So I'm looking to Jim and Joe.
Yeah, so Brian sent out his schedule for the design, and it's been shared with you guys. Big picture, he's in the schematic design phase now. So that's gonna end late September, early October. Design development through the end of the year, construction documents through next May. And we'd be out to bid and receiving bids somewhere in early July.
That's helpful. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so-
that's the big picture. And also just what meshes in nicely is the 39 Locust lease. Looks like the school is going to keep that building until June. So we would have a limited fit out of the area for the police department to be able to use it as a police department. So that would kind of blend in nicely to a summer of next year move and start.
And Joe, remind me on that lease, because and Penny, because you're more Board of Ed, that the Board of Ed, the lease we have for the Board of Ed right now goes how long? And are we gonna like temporarily extend that, or is it just fit beautifully that the PD takes it over for a year and a half? I just can't remember when the lease ends.
So we gave notice, and they can end their lease March 1st, but it looks like they are gonna keep it till June, so they don't move during the school year. They want to move over the summertime. So that would make it available for renovations for the police department in June of next year.
And then we'll use it for what, a year and a half, 2 years or something like that?
2 years is what I'll budget. I think everyone came to a consensus that we would carry 2 years for the construction period. I mean, hopefully it's more of like 18 months, but I think 2 years is the overall project with commissioning, moving.
Yeah,
some-
and
And Joe, are we just maintaining the cost of what the Board of Ed had it? Are we taking all the space that the Board of Ed had in that building? Or have we figured that out?
We are, I believe we're taking all of the space. And it's 30 something thousand. It's this, they basically gave us the same yearly lease rate.
yeah,
So
I
we're
think,
just-
I
we're
think
just
like for the
carrying-
whole year, it's like 330,000 or something. I believe
Yeah.
that's kind of the
It's
cost.
$30,000 to $32,000 a month. is
And
what I-
now, I would assume we need very little renovation there. I mean, it's set up like an office, and I'm assuming we're not gonna spend a lot of money changing what they have, because this is just, this is temporary. So, I hope we're really, this is my Board of Finance hat, like, okay, it's a nice space. It's gonna be what used for the office work and I I can't imagine we have to spend like hardly any money on that, assuming all the furniture and stuff is there. So again,
is-
just like, this is just temporary, you know, I mean, we've all gone through.
Amy, to me, the question would be what we have to do because, you know, the police have to continue to operate and they have some specialty needs. You know,
I
there's
get that.
storage. I don't understand what the solution's gonna be yet on showering and what we need to figure out there. I mean, I'm not suggesting we put showers into, you know, where the Board of Ed is, but I think there's just the office space is all great. And I wouldn't think that would require a lot, but some of the specialty things that the police do, we need to make certain that we can cover.
We may need to use the health club. We also have to, assuming we're going to outsource dispatch and prisoner.
Right.
Yeah, and we have a why and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be smart about it, because again, it's temporary, and what we're trying to do is make it, we're trying to be respectful of the police and make their workspace, you know, not be in a construction zone. But again, let's just be smart about this.
And
Yeah.
also just
So,
to re,
so I mean, the main section would be, like they said, the police, the specialty items. And also there needs to be some sort of public facing police department, you know, so that there's a little bit of a lobby that needs to be created.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really just talking about and there's a generator that's
Yeah.
required. So that's the
I'm
big.
sorry,
those are
Joe?
There's
The
a
what?
generator that would be required. So we're gonna use the temporary generator that we just purchased. And we're gonna put in some gear so that we can put it on emergency power, because obviously we need that for a police department. So that's one of the bigger line items. But you know, once you have to do any construction, I'm more concerned. Obviously, we're gonna do it as cost effectively as possible. But it is gonna take, you know, anytime you touch a space, it takes, you know, 10 to 12 weeks to fit out. So I just wanted everyone to be conscious that there is going to be a little bit of build out time.
and just to confirm with everyone, this, the cost of this is in the project budget, the money we're talking about. However, the building committee will not be intimately involved with the nuts and bolts of the fit out of this temporary space.
yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, let's be frugal.
Mhm.
Not stupid, but frugal, okay? Because it's only for 18 months. It's like, you know, come on. You know, we've all done construction where you haven't had a kitchen for like, you know, 6 months and you deal, you know, you just deal.
Agreed.
Anything else with next steps or new biz?
It's 8:30. You can get on to your appointment.
Perfect. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
See you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, group.
You know, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.